Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. Welcome back to my channel, Books Uncorked and Caffeinated. I am Gayla. I'm so happy that you are here this evening. And we are going to talk about a bunch of books today using the tag, the beginning of the year tag. So I was watching YouTube the other day and I was listening to Shar Reads All Day and Ashley Logan, and they both did the tag, beginning of the year tag, and they both said that this tag was started by Larry Reads, and I do watch Larry's channel, so I ran right over to Larry's channel. Always a good time on that channel, and so I watched their video as well. So I said I'm gonna jump on this tag. Nobody asked me, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So here we are. So as the video indicates, this is a book and grapes night, and so I will be drinking a cab as usual. It's a bourbon barrel aged Cabernet from California, vintage 2022, Robert Mondavi private collection. So I'll be drinking from this, and I will be drinking out of my 1978 vintage stemless glass. I think you can see that. And yeah, last week I had a lot going on, so I didn't really drink, like with my job and stuff. And so it's not like I drink every night, but usually if I open up a bottle, I will finish the bottle within the week. So I'll probably wind up finishing this between today and tomorrow, since tomorrow I have off. And it's a cozy, snowy weekend in New York. So I'm going to do this right now while I'm on with you, and probably another glass as I edit this video. But yeah, cheers. January 19th. Can you imagine? It is already the third weekend in January. I'm done for. Anywho, you guys take a drink to that. That's good. That's really good. It has flavors of black cherry and blackberry. That's really good. If you see that, you need to pick it up, especially if you like cab. All right, so let's get started with the book tag. So the first question is, how many books do you plan on reading in 2025? So I made a video during Bookmas, and I said I had 25 books for 25, and I do. 2024, I read 111 books, and that was an intentional. My goal was 75, and I had surpassed that, so I just kept reading at that point. And then, but I was very intentional about my TBR for 2025 because I have a lot of books that have series, and then also sequels coming out, and I have a lot of big boys, like 400 and 500 pages, and I don't want to rush through trying to meet a goal. And so 25 books seems like it's manageable to read the type of book that I want to read. So I'm going to stick with that this year. If I surpass it, I do. If I don't, I won't. It is what it is. But these are books that I'm quite interested in, and so I want to get off of my physical TBR. Question 2. A book you would most likely reread this year. And that is Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. This is a part of a trilogy, so it's Before I Let Go. The second one is This Could Be Us. And then Hendrix's story comes out, Can't Get Enough, in May. But if I wanted to reread something, it will probably be this, because I will read this and This Could Be Us right before the third one comes out. So if I was to reread anything, Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan would be the one. Question number 3, a priority read on my 2025 TBR. It's The Davenports by Crystal Marquise. The Davenport and The Davenport's More Than This. So I've had this for about a year and a half, never got to it. And then this one came out and I said, oh, I have to get that one as well. So as you see, this is on my 20 for 25. So you see, these are a little thicker. For some people that stick, for some people it's not. For me, if I'm doing a physical book, I want to give more concentration. Now, if this was on Audible, then fine, but it's not, and I really want to read my books, like physical books this year. So this would be priority reads for me in 2025. Question 4, an author you won't be reading more books from this year. I really don't have an author that rubs me the wrong way that I won't read their books, not as of yet. And if it's someone I haven't read in a while, is the reason for it. So that's that for that question. Question 5, something new you want to read, whether it's a new genre or new trope. Not something new that I want to read, but I want to get back into reading like memoirs, autobiographies, or biographies. I really want to learn more about people and what makes them move the way they do. And I do have a book for that. Who's That Girl? A memoir by Eve. I really want to get into this book. I'm intrigued by this book because I grew up in the 90s. She was, a mainstay in the music industry. She's a Black woman. She's a rapper. And I just wanted to really hear her story from her point of view in an industry that's so male dominated. And I just wanted to see what was her experience, good, bad, or indifferent. So this is not a new trope or new genre, but something I want to get back into. So Who's That Girl? A memoir by Eve. Then we have question number 6, a popular book you want to read in 2025. So I'm just getting into fantasy, romantasy, sci-fi, all of those things. And so I actually want to read Iron Flame. I'm shocked. By Rebecca Yarros, I believe her name is. I'll have it up on the screen. Everyone has been talking about this book. The next one comes out, Onyx. Somebody, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I'll have it on the screen as well. So I want to read Iron Flame, and as I said, those are big body books. But that's the most popular book that I want to read that everyone has been reading. Question 7, the most anticipated 2025 book release is Kennedy Ryan. Like I just said, I want to continue the series, and Can't Get Enough is about Hendrix's story, and that's actually coming out in May on my birthday, so I'm super, super happy about it. I hope it really comes out that day, because it would be just so awesome to walk into the store and be like, yep, I'll take one of those. And as you know, those covers are amazing. I have this one sitting next to me. The other one is on the shelf, but these covers they're like gorgeous. It's like, you just want to hug it. So yes, that's the most anticipated read for me. Question 8, a bookish goal of 2025. I want to read from my shelves. I have tons of books, as most people do. I just started my channel in August, so I accumulated and bought a lot of books since then and throughout the summer. And so I have a lot of books. I would have had a lot of books anyway. I probably would have bought some of the same books, not as many, but I would have bought them anyway. So I really, really want to read from my shelf this year. And that's also why my reading TBR goal is low, because I have a lot of books that are in depth. And so I want to get through them properly and with intention and not try to run through them because of a goal. Question 9, a book that has been on my TBR I probably won't ever get to. Once again, those are my biographies and my autobiographies. I have a lot of autobiographies and biographies and memoirs, as we call them these days, from like presidents. I've never read Obama's. I've read Becoming, the first book by Michelle Obama. She had a second one come out. So I want to get more into those that are on my shelf. Even though it says I probably won't get to it, I'm going to really, 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 really try to get to it. But the books that I want to read that is going to be hard to get to are the biographies and autobiographies, because they are big boys as well. Question 10, a series I want to read this year. So I have 2. The Housemaid series. So The Housemaid's Secret, and The Housemaid is Watching. And I've been reading in the book world lately. There's a 4th book that's coming out, so I definitely want to get through this series. And I have another series, the Legend Born series by Tracy Dion. So I have You see what I'm talking about? These are big boys. So Legend Born, Blood Marked, and then the third one that is coming out is Oathbound, Oathbound, which is coming out March 4th. So these is like, if I read this in March, that would just be my reading. Like these two and the one that's coming out. And I want to be realistic about it. And these books are on the book list for 25 for 25. So these are not like light-hearted books. And I really want to get into it. So these are the series that I want to complete this year. Question 11. Who is your order by authors in 2025? Kennedy Ryan and Danielle Allen. So I got into Danielle Allen last year. She did Curvy Girl Summer. And I got into Kennedy Ryan probably like 2023. Yeah, 2023. And then Danielle Allen 2024. And those are like order by authors for me. Not even thinking about it twice. It is going to be what it is. Question 12. A book to show adaptation I'm excited about this year is the Housemaid series. I also believe that Kennedy Ryan has a deal with producing some of her works into series, a movie, show, whatever. And so I want to do that, but I also want to do the Housemaid series as well. So that's why I got to start reading this, and then if there's a fourth one coming out, which I think it is, get that one as well. Question 13, a sequel I'm anticipating. So the sequel that I'm anticipating is from Danielle Allen, Plus Size Player. So she had Curvy Girl Summer, now she has Plus Size Player. I don't know if it's going to go on, but I know this is the sequel in that series for Curvy Girl Summer. Question 14, bookish things I am leaving behind in 2024. So one of those things is DNFing. I want to incorporate DNFing. Sometimes I feel like if I start a book, I'm obligated to read it. Not all the time. Not all the time. But 9 times out of 10, I would say I would just suffer through it. Or I had a book that I was reading, I forgot it, obviously, right? And then I winds up getting the Audible, because if I wouldn't have got the Audible, I would have DNF'd it. But I want to be able to DNF books without feeling, bad about it. And I think one thing that would help me is getting or going to the library more on books that I'm not sure I want to read, and just checking them out from the library, because I won't feel bad because I haven't spent any money on it. But definitely I want to encourage myself to DNF, because why would you sit through a book that you don't want to read? Looks like that's going to be a bad thing. And there we go. So question 15, what to expect from this account, this channel? Well, the channel is named Booked, Uncorked, and Caffeinated. And so my desire would be to include more like wine things and coffee things. I do go to a lot of wine events, and I'm a coffee girl, so I often go to coffee shops. But I will be totally honest with you. I will probably post more wine stuff. Not that I drink more wine, but it's easier to do something out in public. Coffee shops are a little bit more intimate, and to have my camera out. And I'm new to this. I'll be very honest and transparent with you. To set up a camera to take some shots or B-rolls of me at a coffee shop. But it's something that I want to do. It's just going to take a little time. The wine thing is probably going to be quicker than the coffee, but I want to incorporate not just the books and having like wine or coffee as I'm talking about the books and doing book talk, but I also want to take you to events. Like I go to a coffee event every year. I go to 3 or 4 wine events every year. There's a coffee festival. There was one in Philly last year. There's usually one in New York, and I have a friend, we do both of them. So I want to incorporate those things into, those are passions of mine too, books, coffee, and wine. So thus, Book, Uncorked, and Caffeinated. So I want to add more of that to my channel. I do add those things to my Instagram, because I have my Instagram that's Book, Uncorked, and Caffeinated. And so you will see if I go to a winery, a coffee festival, and things like that. But I really want to incorporate that into my channel. So that is the goal and the direction that I want to go with this channel. I think I said a lot about that, so I need to sip. That being said, let's move on to question 16. How was your reading? How has your reading taste evolved since last year or from last year? And I'm thinking 2023 because we just got into 2025. So I would say I've started reading genres I would not have, or got into books that I would have been like, Like, for instance, fantasy, romantasy. I have a lot of those books on my TBR for this year. A big difference for me, I read Babel. Absolutely loved it. Read Yellowface by the author. Absolutely loved it. Interested in reading The Poppy Wars. Think I'm gonna love those. So pushing the type of books that I read. I read a lot of romance last year, and I do read romance, but it's not as much as I would have in the past. Like, in the past, I read a lot of nonfiction, and I think that has a lot to do with my career. I'm a teacher and I'm a therapist by trade, and so a lot of the books I read is because I had to, but I enjoyed it, and so it made me dig a little bit more into the genre outside of class. But I want to get more into just different genres like fantasy, romantasy, all of those things, YA. I like to be a well-rounded read person, literally. I've been reading all of my life. This is nothing new. The channel is just new. So, yes, that's my goal. Question 17, book creators who inspire me. So, I started watching YouTube during COVID. I'm a little older than some of my counterparts, so YouTube was something new to me. I started watching it during COVID because I needed to find ways to still be able to teach to my students and keep them engaged. So I started using shorts on YouTube. And then one day I found like a makeup video. Then I found like some natural hair videos, which but I don't have my braids, I have my little tiny afro. So I was looking at those videos. I got into makeup a lot because I was at home, COVID. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna make up my face. And then just like June, July 2023, I found Shaughnessy. And I was like, I like books. And she did it like a book haul. And I was like, oh, what is this young lady reading? I would like to look. She's a Black woman. She's reading. And then she also had besides a book haul, she had a video about other Black YouTubers, creators who were reading as well. And I was like, okay. So I really got into YouTube booktubers from Shaughnessy. And then you go down the rabbit hole and you're trying to look at everyone. So a couple of those people was Shelby in the book club. And so Shelby read a lot of coochie books. And if you know Shelby, you know what I mean. And she got them underneath a bar. So I got into her channel, and she reads a lot from Black authors and Black stories, which I love. Then I got into Felicia, Brooklyn Book Bell. She reads primarily all Black authors. Love it. And then I got into Lex Reed, who also reads a lot of Black books, but her books a little bit more specific. A lot of them are historical fiction. They're timepieces, like from like slavery. She loves a slave narrative. I do too. They can be a little bit intense, but I do too. And so, yeah, those ladies, I started just going down the rabbit hole, and I am so excited. Every time their video pop up, I'm in it to win it. And so those have been my influences as far as YouTube and BookTube and things of that nature. So I'm having a great time, and I'm just looking to grow my channel and moving forward and continue to read the books that I love to read regularly. And the very last question, question 18, it says something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a bookish account. This sounds so cliche, but just do it. Really, just start it. So I started my channel the beginning of August. I think my first video was August 2nd. And I'm going to leave it in the description box. Look at me, because I know how to do that now. I'm going to leave it in the description box. It was August 2nd, I believe. And I had two friends, my friend Denise and my friend Natasha. And I talked about this in my very first video. It was a mid-year bookish tag. And I read anyway. All my friends know I have a book in my purse wherever I go. And so I had already started my Instagram channel, Booked Uncork. It was Booking Uncork at the time. It wasn't caffeinated yet. And by the time I got to August of 2024, it became Booked Uncork and Caffeinated. And both of my friends were like, just start, say something, turn on the camera, do it. You don't have to do all of the bells and whistles. That's how people start. And I really, from June to August, was like, no, 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 I can't. And then I literally got up that morning, turned on my video, talked for like 10 minutes, and then like was cringing. And then I sent it to a friend and I was like, I don't care, it's going up. And so I'm here, you know, and I have always been successful. I'm not saying that to be arrogant. Anything that I wanted to achieve, especially professionally, I put my mind to it. I get it done. Like, I have 4 degrees, and I'm not saying that to be funny, but I'm a lifelong learner. I'm saying that to say I've always read, I've always been reading. And so this is a new thing for me, and I'm a little older too. I'm older than what most people think. So this was scary for me. Technology is scary for me. Even though I work in the school system and we use it, I did not become proficient into COVID because we had to. And so this has been a scary ride, but I've enjoyed it. It's pushing me outside my boundaries. It's making me learn new things. I talk about it with my students. My students said they were going to teach me how to use CapCut. Like, you have to push yourself. If you want anything and it's worth something to you, you have to push yourself. So that's a very long answer to just say, do it. Do it. Get up, turn on the camera. And I hear this all the time. I'm still watching YouTubers who encourage new influencing YouTubers to just start. And that's literally what you have to do. I can't emphasize that anymore. Like, I'm just 2 seconds into this thing. And if I hadn't done it that day, if I had not got up that day and said, I don't care what you're talking about, you're going to talk about it, I would not have done it. And so I just thank my friends and family for just pushing me and saying you can do it. Even when I fumble on here, my videos are not the best creatively, but I'm learning how to do that. And so, yeah, sometimes you have to learn as you go along. You can't have it all done in one night. I always hear YouTubers and booktubers say, just pick up your phone. And that's literally what I've done. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to 2025. I'm looking forward to reading in 2025, but I'm also looking forward to learning about like this industry and YouTube and how this works and how I can be a positive influence. I'm in contact with a lot of young people every day, and my only goal is to make sure that they become their best selves. And how can I insist that they become their best selves when I'm not becoming my best self because I'm scared? So here I am. Do all the things: like, subscribe, comment, share, subscribe to Book Uncork and Caffeinated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.